Kent, 5111 Flamingo. I will be correcting my and fine tuning my recent blog on capital budget. It will be a working blog, so to speak. Mr. Chairman, you did not adequately notice the FY2025 MLG budget in a timely manner, and a vote on it today would be out of order. As far as the way forward capital upgrade budget, and it's important, it's a capital upgrade budget. Capital improvements going on all the time. The MLGW administration is currently proposing to spend $800 million more than the original way forward plan. Is anyone keeping up with this? Does anyone here know what $800 million is on a public basis? Try 400 new buses and 4 new high schools. Next, there's zero budget logic or discipline evident in the FY 25-29 capital upgrade budget. And no way after a massive increase in the 5-year capital upgrade budget increase for 24-28 should the 5-year budget spike upward again, unless there's no budget discipline along with the unless there's reckless explosive spending decisions going on. This spike is offensive. It's offensive. Shouldn't be happening. An engineering ops center out of nowhere paid by the gas division is an example. The city-owned MLGW has done well with gas, and taxpayers need help and deserve a payout of $100 million, which is what this board should go to work finding a way to execute for taxpayers. Besides, that is what elitists do with excess public cash, is build unneeded buildings or subsidizing their own projects. Look at us. We're building an engineering ops center or a mobility center that's sitting empty over there, or 2/3 empty. All that to say, we're spending too much on just about everything at MLGW. At the next meeting, I will be laying out my conspiracy theory that debunks the myth that MLGW for decades has been investing and spending too little on capital improvements. Like MATA, ratepayers likely have been ripped off. I can't see that clock over there, by the way. And finally, I'm going to ask you this at the next board meeting. Outside of Mr. McGowan's presentation, does this board itself, does this board have an approach to sizing what MLGW should be spending annually on capital maintenance? Do you have an approach? I really hope you do, because if you don't, we may have another instance similar to the MATA board going on right here. If you have no approach as a board, delay the vote on this budget because of it's out of order, and reject the explosively reckless budget. And Memphis is closed. Unlike other people say, Memphis is open for business. Memphis is closed for business. They know it. We've run 3 international brands out of Memphis. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kent.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Linda Hicks, 608 Gillies, 21st Century Memphis or Bust. A bit over 4 months ago, the daughter of Henry and Eva Strong, dealing with medical issues compounded by a totally unsatisfactory and poorly handled delayed billing situation, came before this board for help. The latter part of March 2024, this family received 3 supposed corrected bills in less than a 30-day period, all showing unmetered services estimated. These bills totaled $826. And 2 weeks later, they received yet another supposed corrected bill estimated, and with no explanation as to why those bills came to them. Yes, they had heard about the delayed billing process. During all of these issues occurring, their electric service was disconnected in error. Mrs. Strong made a payment without question to get the services back on, and then came before the board for answers and assistance. They were told and assured that their issues would be handled and that their services would definitely not be disconnected again. But again, a second time, their services were disconnected on October 3rd. Failed promises, untrusted service provider. The Strongs are yet awaiting corrections on error supposed corrected bills. In the process of all of this, they have had to deal with a water leak, which billed excessively for 3 months. All of this with this is just one customer for 4 months, and this account is still not accurately resolved. Because I have assisted this family over the past months and witnessed the poor handling of this account, I am once again strongly urging this board to take swift action, mandating an audit of all customers' accounts that have been impacted by this delayed bill fiasco. I am also challenging the unfair 2018 changes to the water leak and sewer adjustment policy to currently adjust 50% of the highest excess usage billed in a 12-month period with only one adjustment allotted per 12 months is not fair, especially when the MLGW does not bill industrial customers for higher wasted volumetric daily usage. In the majority of situations, customers are not aware that they even have a water leak until they see or notice an increase in their bill, or they get a letter alerting them that they have a leak. Lastly, I too must make note of okay. Please address that issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hicks.
Dr. Ray Bauer, 775 University Street. It's my home address. However, I find it very strange that we are being asked to provide that when we already have provided in order to get in this building. And I'm following the lead of President McGowan, who at City Council does use his business address. So I'd like you to please reconsider. It's not in the written instructions. There's a lot of crazy people out there, and I'm trying to keep myself and my family safe. I don't understand why we cannot use our business address. Co-founder of the 100% volunteer MLGW advocacy group, 21st Century Memphis or Bust. I'm here to ask about next year's budget. While I see that the 4% electric rate increase already approved by City Council is still in there, I was dismayed to not see a reduction in the residential water rate, even though our group had asked leadership to explore removing the substantial water discounts for industrial users, instead charging them the same rate across the board that we pay to help offset the 49% residential water rate increase over the past 8 years. This is the residents' water. We deserve the discount, not the out-of-town companies. I was not able to fully examine the budget book because unfortunately it was not made public until mid-morning yesterday. But based on what I saw from the presentation at the last meeting, I am confused about the capital investment plan. I do not have a business background, so if someone could please clarify, doesn't a capital investment plan start with heavy expenses its first year and then taper down over the remaining years of the plan? Why is MLGW increasing annually instead? The way forward plan started in 2020. So by now it should be tapering down. But if I understood President McGowan's presentation at the last meeting, it is now morphing into a quote, regular, reoccurring part of the way MLGW does business, unquote. Is this a sustainable model? There's also the question of delayed billing, which we were told would be resolved by September 30th. But it's October 16th, and we're still hearing about them. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Dr. Ray Bauer.